I'm gonna try to tape this the right way. Last time when I videotaped it, I did it in slow motion. It turned into a 3-hour video. And so I'm taping it now so that I can put it up on our website. So for those that miss, okay? Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Joey Knock. I'm gonna pray now and then we get started with the presentation. So we'll probably hold you about 30, 40 minutes depending on what the questions are. And then if there are more questions, then feel free to ask. Heavenly Father, we come, we thank you, Lord, for this day. We ask that you would bless us as we prepare for this trip. Lord, it's a great opportunity for our young people. Lord, we ask that you would keep us safe, Lord. We ask that you would watch over them as we go down the dangerous highways. Lord, we pray that you would bless us with an affordable trip for the hotel rooms and also for the bus. And then also that the young people's eyes will be open, and then also give opportunity, especially for our juniors and seniors, God, that they will be able to get into the school of their choice. And so we thank you, Lord, for all that you've done up until this point, and continue to bless us throughout this trip. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Amen. Okay. Okay. Of course, Sister Tara, behold, the green and gold.
Oh, good. You know.
Okay. Second Antioch Baptist Church.
It's a shame that I did spend a lot of time there.
I know, it's such a lovely
Oh,
campus.
close your ears.
I know. Spring College Tour. I'm Dr. Joey Knock. I'm the trip coordinator. I really do this as a burden of love because of the fact that I'm a graduate of Overbrook High School, as is my wife. I met my wife at Overbrook High School in the Scholars Program at Overbrook. And so when we had the misfortune when it was time to go to college, we went to a hotel banquet room, and all of these college fair people would be there. They would show their videos and all the information, and everybody's school was the best thing since sliced bread till you get on campus, and then you start to realize that you may not feel like you fit in. And so it's important that you do visit. I made the mistake. At Overbrook, I ran track, cross-country track, and I played baseball. And I really wanted to play baseball in college. And so my wife and I had a plan that she was going to go to Norfolk State and I was going to go to Hampton, and I was going to play baseball at Hampton. The only problem is that Hampton didn't even have a baseball team. So fortunately, what many of you should do, and I really promote this, is that you apply to as many colleges as you possibly can. And then with that, getting accepted into those universities, then that gives you options. So since my wife was going there, I also had applied for there, because what could go wrong? Norfolk State, 20 minutes from Virginia Beach, nice marching band, wide open campus and everything. So I was like, we could just come back and forth, either to Hampton or Norfolk, and we could still date while we were in college. So it worked out for me that I was able to go to Norfolk State, and I was able to fulfill my dreams at the school. And then in addition to that, I was at a campus, on the same campus with my girlfriend at the same time. By the time we got to our junior year, we got engaged. Year after college, when we got married, and we've been married 35 years. So I'm not saying that you go to high school and to college so that you can do the dating game, but I tell you, as crazy as this world is right now with relationships and not knowing people, it's a blessing to meet somebody when you're real young and do that. So we will be doing, last time we were going to do the tour in the fall. It had to be canceled because of a lot of financial resources of the parents. Government was shut down. It was a whole lot of craziness. And so for the first time, I think in like 2 times in the 26 years that I've been doing college tours, we had to cancel the tour. All right? And so we're doing it in January. We have plenty of time for us to move forward, and we'll talk about the dates and the times. Okay? This is when we went to Duke University, Cameron Indoor Stadium. That's actually one of the motivation kids, young ladies, grown lady now. This is North Carolina A&T campus, February 1 group. Y'all know what that's all about? Anybody remember the history of A&T? These 4 freshmen went to Woolworth counter, sat at the counter, and got arrested for sitting in a all-white counter. And so from there, they led to the desegregation of stores where people would, you know, if you wanted to get a meal, you had to go to the back window, and everybody else wouldn't be in there, would come the other way. So they're very famous for the changes that they made in Raleigh, North Carolina. Greensboro, I'm sorry. Okay, purpose of the college tour. One is to expose high school students to the college experience. So you heard my story with regard to that. And for the spring tour, we basically will do 9th through 12th. We've even had some interest last couple of years on 8th graders, but we try not to do that if we have room for the 9th through the 12th. And then if we last year, 2 years ago, we did have an 8th grader, but mom went with her to be on the tour just to motivate her to get her head straight, to get ready for high school. So we do expose high school students primarily to the college experience. And so that's very important. Sometimes you have, especially some of our students are really not excelling or processing and enjoying the high school experience, but it gives them a chance to go on a college tour, and hopefully that will motivate them. One time we went to Hampton University around Halloween, and we had some pretty young ladies with candy in their little orange pumpkin buckets, and some of the guys just fell in love and said, I'm going to Hampton. And so if that's the only motivation it takes for you to go on a college tour, hey, let it happen, baby. So expose them to the college experience, to let them know that they can do more. Now, I will say this, every young person is not going to be college material, but they need to understand that. Then also there are many young people that can make lucrative careers out of trade schools. We understand that. Then there's also in certain situations, my son-in-law is up there, up top. He's a graduate. He met my daughter at University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and so he's a project manager in construction. So you can do those. You can go to college and get those careers. Later on, he went on to get his MBA, and so that's opportunities for you to do that. Instead of being a worker, you can be a project manager or own your own company. So there's other things depending on what you want to do. But some of them, you know, they HVAC, concrete, electric, and all these things, they make way more money than Pastor Knott. And I got 3 degrees, and they run circles around me. So that's nothing to be ashamed about. They're doing the trades, but at the same time, it's always good. As some of y'all were overhearing me, I'm having a conversation where we're about to fire a roofer, because my man, he's a good roofer, but he's lousy at business. You know, and so we have to deal with those type of things. So one of the things, at least if you go to college and you go into business, is business ethics. Some people don't know ethics, and so we have to see what happens there. So expose them, establish relationships with the admission departments. When I first started doing college tours 26 years ago, there used to be a gentleman at Delaware State, Mr. Williams, and we would go on those tours, that would be the first school we visit, and Mr. Williams would get some of our young people accepted into college on the first day. Full 4-year rides. Because not that I did anything special, I'm not a magician. You do the work. We just give you the exposure so that when you get to these places and get the opportunities to do that. But back in those days, you could you could send down like 2 weeks before your college transcripts and all of that stuff. Now everything is electronic, right? Everything that you send, and now even colleges are really being scrutinized because of the fact that you saw like many of the famous actresses and business people, they were getting their kids into school by just giving them money, saying that they were playing volleyball or rowing team, but they were just paying their way into USC and some of the other type of places. So they really scrutinize all of the grades and everything. And then we have an orange president who is like trying to say that we're not bright and smart enough to get into certain schools and our grades aren't where they need to be. So the only reason we're doing that is because of XYZ. So we need to make sure that we establish those relationships with the admission departments and get you into those schools, okay? So we will do that in preparation for the tour. obtain scholarships. Young people, what's the difference between scholarships and student loans? Look, all the adults roll their eyes. What's the difference between, raise your hand and tell me, young people, what's the difference between a scholarship and a student loan?
What's the difference?
Jisoo?
With a student loan, you gotta pay it back, but with a scholarship, it's free.
Amen. And so here's the whole thing, that some of y'all are kind of lazy in certain areas. I will use that word, lazy. Some of you are hesitant, and some of you are just too laid back. But if you try to go to some of these universities and they're $35, $40, $50,000 a year, and all of that aid won't be covered with regard to that, what happens is if you can get scholarships from that based on your grades and all of your extracurricular activities, then that money you don't have to pay back. But the gap, the bridging of the gap, especially when you're a freshman, so I don't know, I'm showing my age, as my youngest is 25, but when you used to be a freshman, you couldn't even get student loans. Your parents had to do the loan the first year. Am I right about that?
Right.
Is that still the process? And
I
so,
think they got like the parent
depends
plus.
on-
yeah, the Parent Plus loans and all that
Stuff
stuff,
like that.
but pretty much most of your loan will be from your parents. So if they don't have good credit or they have other type of things, sometimes there is another route, okay? Sometimes the community college route, some of the junior college routes, and certain things that you can try to do that way. But understanding is very important. But when you get those student loans, you gotta pay them back. Them student loan people are the original gangsters. You can file bankruptcy and you still, if student loans will be waiting for you after the fact. You may get rid of them credit card debt and everything else. I'm 58 years old and I still have student loans. And the reason, but mine is different because I have a master's degree and a doctorate degree. But all of those programs, I was almost there, Tara. Right before Joe Biden had gotten that thing, I was 2 years away from them wiping all my things from being pastoring in a nonprofit. And then that program got blown up.
Yep, it got me in a hole.
Yep. So we want to obtain scholarships. You don't have to pay that back. Then what I wanted to say about being the lazy part is that you can apply to all of these different places, and even if it's a $500 scholarship, AKAs, Qs, come on.
Deltas,
Deltas,
Zeta.
Zetas, all Divine Nine.
Thank you.
Okay, they help you out with scholarships and stack them.
Yep.
Their scholarships to being left-handed. Their scholarships to being a twin. There are all kind of scholarships, the Bill Gates scholarships and all the other things that they have out here. So you need to stack them and make up that difference. And sometimes you can use the same form letter, but just switch it around, but at least do it instead of just sitting back and saying, oh, well, I won't go to school, okay? So it's important to obtain the scholarships. Then early admissions, right?
Yeah.
For our seniors, it's too late for the early admissions, but our 11th graders, this is perfect timing for you. Because you go on there, you meet with these admission departments and the like, and then if possible, make yourself well-known, and then oftentimes you can get into, sometimes there's summer bridge programs. And then with those summer bridge programs, that'll give you opportunity to go there in the summertime for a small fee, and then you also start earning college credits. How many of you are already doing, dual enrollment and stuff? Right, dual enrollment, do as much of that as you possibly can. And get those things so that you can get in for early admissions. Because here's the whole thing. All the money is spent already pretty much for the scholarships coming into next year. Now, that's good news, bad news, but it's also good news. Because what happened one time, we went to Cheney, and we took a young man that had a 4.0 GPA. He was National Honor Society and the like. And he was dragging his feet. So his mom made him go on a college tour. So we went to Cheney, and he only applied for one school, and it was Cheney, because his mom made him apply for it. No, but listen to this, look how the Lord worked it out. So we went there, and So the admissions director actually gave us a tour, which is amazing. And what happened is she picked on him to be picked on, right? How dare you only pick one school and everything? And he was sitting there and everything, and he wouldn't even speak up for himself. She was like, you've always got to have your options open. Now, she was doing it because she wanted him to come to Cheney. So then after she finished with all of that, I said, Brandon, what school only one school did you apply for? He said Cheney. Because he spoke up. Somebody was going to go to Cheney and sent a letter saying, I'm no longer coming. A full ride had just come back to the admission director. Oh, y'all ain't praying with me. And boom, he got it. Right on the trip. You can't make this stuff up, okay? And so early admissions is important because in the fall, that's where the money is. Get your money in. November, October, into October, early November, early admissions. Get into your school so you can get that money so that you can move forward, okay? A lot of young people are going to HBCUs because right now, the predominantly white institutions, they're getting a lot of flack. And they're trying to say the only reason you're there, even if you get through the admission department, some of the students will treat you poorly because they're saying the only reason you're here is because you're a DEI or affirmative action or something, okay? And so we want to get you in as early as possible, get your money, get everything straight away. Even early admission even helps you with regard to your housing and other things. Because don't be like me. Remember how I said I went to late? I was fortunate. Guys, I stayed with the track team in the hotel. Y'all ain't praying with me. Because they had given away all the things. My wife hates when I say this. My first day at campus was my worst day of my life. Worst day of my life. I went to go home and crawl up in a ball and go home. I get down to campus. My mom didn't even know how to get to Norfolk. She saw the first 13. She got off in Chester. She saw Route 13 in Chester. That wasn't the real 13. Mama, do you know where you're going? We get down there late. They gave away all the rooms and everything else. The only thing, fortunately, because an athlete and everything, they said, oh, well, we can put you in Holiday Inn Norfolk School, right across from there. And so, but I get down there, I'm like, where's my boo? Looking for my girl. Oh, I saw her get in the car. That was my wife disappeared. She got in the car with a couple of dudes. They went down to Virginia Beach. I was like, I lost my girl in my room on my first day. It's stressful, isn't it? It's stressful, isn't it? She said, stop being petty or overreacting or something. But at the same time, make sure, because if HBCUs are booming right now. And so they can't build dorms rooms fast enough and everything else. But a lot of times they will make room for the freshmen. You may have to go off campus after that, but make sure you get there early and get all of that squared away, okay? Chaperones. We will have chaperones. If parents want to go on a trip, you can go on a trip. You don't have to be in the room with your student, or your child rather. But we try to have as many chaperones as we possibly can. We have some that are here. We have 2 chaperones. We have three lady chaperones so far. We may have one more if Gabby goes. Okay. And Gabby's a school psychologist in Mastery Charter Schools. And Mr. Vance, myself, and then we have 2 people in law enforcement, one Homeland Security, one SWAT team guy, Chris CJ. And then if Deacon Berrien goes, he's there. So we try to have at least about 7 chaperones and go with about 28 young people. So around 35 to 40. We get a 56 passenger bus, and so we do it that way. So, but if you want to go on a trip, you can. You don't have to room up. You can room up with the adults and do it that way. If you want to room up with your child, you can do that also. But we do make sure that we have chaperones that are familiar with young people and get along with young people and like young people, okay? No opposite sex room visitation. Do any parents have a problem with that? Okay, so what we do is we do curfew. So we knock on the doors, we do the curfew, we make sure that everybody's in the rooms that they're supposed to be in and the like. And then the hotel, I love this hotel that we go to in Newport News because we don't have to be up on each floor. They have like all these monitors. So we sit behind the desk where the people are right there, and we can just look at the cameras on each floor, make sure nobody comes out after curfew, okay? And so We don't have to worry about kids being disrespectful and everything. I give 3 strikes and you're out rule. So if you act like you grown and everything else like that, you gonna listen to pastor or not. Some people really get belligerent when they get on the last night because they figure we coming home anyway. But guess what? You won't ride home with us on air. You'll ride home in a gray dog. And they'll stop in every city all the way back. Because you want to be grown, I'll treat you like you grown. Y'all know what the gray dog is? Greyhound. Okay? And right now they trying to rehab Filbert Street, but until then, they'll drop you underneath a bridge, and when you get off, and have your parents waiting for you there since you're so grown. But I don't tolerate disrespect. Okay, I don't care if he's your half cousin, third removed, male, female, no one in opposite rooms. I don't care if he got your charger, he got your wallet, you know, all of these different things. You cannot go in the room with opposite sex. Okay, so. We do allow, they have the, downstairs, they have the breakfast area, so you can fellowship down there, you can play Uno, cards, talk, and do all of that stuff down there. So you can congregate with other people there, but you can't do that. We don't even allow you to, if you call DoorDash or something like that, you tell them you meet them in the lobby. You don't give them your room number and go up. That's not happening, okay? Anybody have a problem with that? Okay, we want to make a positive impression. Dress as casual, but remember you're interviewing for possible placement, okay? Don't get dressed up. Make sure you wear something that's comfortable. A lot of these campuses are large campuses, so you have different shoes and everything. Don't be wearing no high heels. And you know, I don't know how comfortable y'all are. Some of y'all are used to doing, what do they call them, Mr.? The slider things, what do they call them? Crocs and stuff like Crocs ain't that comfortable walking on a 200-acre campus. Come on, somebody. But making sure that you wear something that you're going to be comfortable with and doing that. So, and then you're interviewing for possible placement. Because there have been some times when we've been on college tours, we've actually run into the president of the university. All right? So you never know who you may run into at those times. And with that, they have the power, they know where the money is and all the different things that's going on to be able to help you and advance you in your career. So you only get one chance to make a first impression, okay? Any questions? Oh, who's that?
Oh, is that Felicia?
Yes. She retired now, but you see Chadwick A. Boseman School of Fine Arts. All right, so we went there to, you know, to see the fine arts.
Oh, Felicia Rashad.
Don't come in here. All these HBUs wearing their colors. What was I thinking today? We got the Vikings and Viking pride over here, Elizabeth City. Everybody coming here wearing their colors, but Pastor not. Oh my goodness. So we ran into her, and so she was so gracious. She was a wonderful, nice person. But I got, you know, I got a picture with her. My sister graduated from Howard University, Fine Arts. My sister was on the 9-year plan. At Howard. She loved it so much in DC, she didn't want to leave. And so the only way that she got in trouble is I was 2 years behind my sister. And when I went to Norfolk State, I said to my mom when I got to my senior year, I said, Mom, can I get a class ring? She said, for what? I said, graduation. She said, what do you mean? I said, Mom, I'm graduating in May. You can't be graduating. What about your sister? Oh man, she got on that phone and laid her out. So she was enjoying Howard too much. So my mom cut her off as far as paying for school. And because she was the first generation, so my mother didn't know better. Right. And so she had enough money working to pay for everything but one class. She got, when my mom cut her off, all of a sudden she got righteous and radical. She went to the finance department and financial aid and said, I'm a senior, I need one class, and I don't have any money. And they looked at her like, you're crazy. They're like, no, I need to register tomorrow. I pay for these other classes, but there's one class that I didn't. So the person said, well, come back tomorrow when I see what we can do for you. Debbie Allen and Felicia Rashad paid her last class.
That was nice.
So when I told her that story, then I got a picture. Okay? Because that's the type of people they are. They do stuff for you. Don't let anybody know about it. You know, do it real private, because if you put it out there, then they're going to hold their money. But they really are vested in Howard University. Oh, I have my colors on there. Okay, conduct and dress code, okay. No cursing, come on somebody. No drugs, alcohol, weapons. When I first started 26 years ago, I didn't have to say that, but here's the whole thing. Some of you may be aware, a couple of years ago, when COVID was going on, state troopers in Georgia pulled over Dell State's lacrosse team. And they searched that bus top to bottom with dogs and everything, and lied and tried to say they thought that they were sex trafficking the team, hoping that they would find something illegal on them. And so they got a major lawsuit from the president of Dell State for that, because they said we didn't know who they were. No inappropriate behavior on the motor coach. Okay, I will quickly find out while we're on the trip who's boyfriend and girlfriend and all that. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. So don't be coming in here. Come on with your what do they call them? The blankets and little pillows, and come on, like, oh, let's sit next to my film. Every time that person goes somewhere, it's me and my shadow and all that other stuff, you know. So we play DVDs. So some of the movies so old, it's like lines and everything through them. But that's just to keep the light on inside the bus so we can see what's going on. Come on, we've been here. We've been doing this a long time. Can I get away with it? I can care less what's on there. And some of y'all done seen. Come on. Some of y'all done see The Great Debaters like 10 million times, and Killing the Bee, and all that other stuff. But we do it so that when we walk up and down them hallways, I mean, the bus aisle, we make sure everything is copacetic. Come on. All right? So no inappropriate. If we watching a movie, then you got earbuds. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. You got your phone. Most of the buses have Wi-Fi. They have power outlets there, and you can do you. But we make sure that everybody's doing the right thing, okay? Don't get caught up in your own little personal conversation and be cussing and fussing on the whole trip, okay? Must be punctual. Punctual. Did you hear that, Elizabeth City? Punctual. What is punctual? Young people, what does that mean? What does that mean to be punctual? Anybody? Huh?
Open your mouth.
To be on time.
On time, yes. So when we look at that, we see that we learned a long time ago, and the reason why I mess with John Mack is because he went to Elizabeth City, but he had enough sense to grow up in Norfolk, Virginia, okay? So with that, we learned when we were younger, early is on time. Early is on time.
On time.
Because when we go on these trips, if we are 15 minutes late for any of these schools, they have the right to cancel our trip and just give us what they call it, a virtual tour or self-guided tour. You didn't come and pay money for this to be going on those self-guided tours, right? You want to hear how much it costs to go there. You want to make sure that you know all the information about what scholarships and things that they have. Do they have your major? They're going to help you to get to your goals and everything else. You need to know these things ahead of time. You want to know how safe the campus is. You want all of those questions. We visit some of the schools and we get an opportunity to eat on the campus. We want to know whether the food's good or not, right? But sometimes don't fall in love with just because you go to the cafeteria and everything is banging, and it's all you can eat. Because Sister Tara will tell you, you'll see the same food every week. And after a while, what tasted good one week, and you'll be like, what, tacos again? Taco Tuesday, soul food Friday, you know. It don't matter what campus you're going on, right? And that cafeteria will get you. And so being on time. So when we get up in the morning, sometime lately, we've been amazed. I don't know, young people, what y'all do, because we could be banging on your door, almost tearing it down, and you don't hear anything. Nothing. That hotel could be burnt to the ground, and y'all don't respond. And so we make sure that everybody's up on the bus and the like. If you late, that ain't time for you to run over to make a waffle. See, she was already ahead of me. You can't make this up. This is what the students do. We all waiting for this person. They be like, wait a minute for a second. Get on there with a waffle. I'm trying to eat the waffle while we're on the bus, and they make us late for someplace. So please be on time. And if we're blessed with sponsorships, sometimes we get things from Chick-fil-A, gift cards from Chick-fil-A and other places, and we give them sometime for the first person to get to the bus, sometime the most helpful person, and other things. And we do those type of things to kind of promote people being on time and doing what's necessary. Also, if we go to the mall and you come back late, then curfew gets earlier and earlier. So we start at 11 o'clock. You decide you want to come late, 10 minutes late, it's 10 o'clock. Go to next time, we go to next time, it's 9 o'clock. Okay? So, and as they said on Drumline, one band, one sound. When one's late, we're all late. Okay? So we want to make sure we get that straight. We're going to leave at 8 o'clock. The last time we were going on this trip, we was going to leave at 4:30 in the morning. Okay? It's a different trip, so we're going to go different itinerary. First school we're going to is University of Maryland Eastern Shore. We'll get there at 10:30. Takes 2.5 hours to get there. Okay? We'll have a tour, and then we'll do lunch. 1 p.m. we'll leave UMES. 3 o'clock we'll go to the mall, and we'll have dinner at the mall. And then 5:30 we'll arrive at the hotel. Okay? Fortunately for us, the mall is across the street from the hotel. So that's the one that we go to over there. New things have happened. Last year when we went on the spring tour, we went to Baltimore area. So we went to like Coppin and Morgan State. And we went to Maryland Live. They won't let you in unless you have a chaperone, because teenagers. So we'll have to segregate different groups and assign a certain amount of young people to each adult, so that we don't have any drama, because literally they were kicking people out of the mall. Because sometimes the kids go there to congregate and fight and steal stuff and everything else. So you have to be with an adult. So we'll assign a certain amount of number of people per chaperone for that. Reason why we're going back to the hotel early that day is because the bus driver has a certain amount of time that he can drive a bus during the day. So if he starts it early at 8 o'clock, he's probably got to be here about 7:30. So then his clock runs, and he's only allowed, because he puts his code in, and when that time gets, then that's it for the day. Okay? So it may be a little later, we don't know sure, but at least we'll put that in there for the timing on that 5:30 to the hotel. Okay? That's the first day. You got up early anyway, you'll be tired. Okay? 8:30, we'll leave the hotel. 10 a.m., we got an appointment. Thank you, Mr. Matt. They finally got back with me. So Elizabeth City State University, we are going to be visiting them there. Many of you, there's some great programs going there. We do have from our Motivation High School. I'm the SAC chair at Motivation High School. We have a young lady that's currently there, and she is very familiar with the alumni chapter of Philadelphia area. They have helped her to get into the school. They've given her some resources to be able to go to the school. They have an excellent, what's the program? Pilots? What's that called? Aviation program. So you can be pilots. You can go through that program, top-notch program. Of course, we know it's a land grant school, so there's a lot of agricultural and other business majors and the like. It's more a rural school, but it's a perfect school to get your work done. If you get bored or you're looking for a party, just get in your car and just go. You can find, going in any direction, you can find a party. Even if you gotta come to Norfolk, Virginia, it's not far from there, and Virginia Beach and the like. So, but it gives you enough time to settle down when you get there. And it's a small community, a college community, so that you can get to know all the people there and you can thrive. There are a lot of young people from the Philadelphia area that go to Elizabeth City State University. So it's a pipeline. I would just say a note for that is that one of the ladies that was really promoting the school, she passed this year, Sister Ella Ivory. And so the Alumni Association is going to work with us to see if we can get a scholarship in her name to be able to go on the trip. So one of the young people may be able to win that scholarship if they need aid. So we'll do the tour. We'll leave at 12. We'll go to Virginia State University. Trojans. So we'll be visiting them. They did an excellent job. They were full for the day. And because of the quality of students that we send to visit and have got accepted into Virginia State, notice it's not 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., it's 2:30. They made room for us to come.
Not Virginia Union?
They don't even answer the phone at Virginia Union.
That's rude.
So we'll be going to Virginia State, so that'll be our second school for the day. Then after we visit with them, we'll do the tour, and then once again, we'll leave Virginia State at 4:30, and then we'll work our way back. We'll be staying at the same hotel for 2 days, okay? So we'll get down there for the first day. We'll go to the mall, then we'll go to the hotel. Everybody leave their stuff there. We go to Elizabeth City, go this direction, east, North Carolina, okay, southeast. Then we'll come right back and then come more to the middle of west. We'll go west, and then we'll go to Virginia State. And then we'll come back we'll be staying in Newport News, okay? So we won't be in Hampton. I've learned my lessons with regard to Hampton. Sometimes, in your mind, it would make sense to stay at Hampton and stay near the Hampton Mall because they got all of that stuff, but it's too busy. It's too busy. So go to Newport News, slow it down, don't get our kids involved. One time we even almost had one of our students attacked by some of the people that was down there because he wanted to talk to one of the girls on our trip. And the guy was just best friends with the girl. He thought he wanted to get him out the way so he could get the girl. I ain't got time for that drama, okay? So we'll be staying in Newport News. So we leave Virginia State University, we'll go back to the same mall that we went the day before, and then we'll eat dinner, and then we'll come back to the hotel at 7 o'clock, okay? We good? Now I will send you this itinerary, so you don't have to worry about that. You'll even have it in advance, okay? Questions? Last day, 9 o'clock, we'll leave the hotel. Now, that's fluid, because I just gotta see some things, and then we'll go to Hampton. The reason why I say that's fluid is because I have to talk to the bus driver about how many hours he can work, because we gotta get back to Second Antioch. And so I gotta see how many hours that he can drive, because if he can give us a little extra time, what I'll do is we'll leave earlier, like 8 o'clock, and we'll go eat breakfast at Hampton instead of at the hotel. And then, because give them a chance to, get to see. That's a beautiful campus for the cafeteria and the like. The glass wall that they have right there when you go in the cafeteria, you can look at all the sailboats and everything else like that. And they, you got them ladies that cook in the kitchen. Hey, baby, we want some grits and some corn with chick beef and toast. So I want to do that, but I got to just get permission from the bus line to see if we can extend that day. So 10 o'clock though, the tour starts at Hampton. We'll have the tour, and then we'll go to 1. Tour will probably finish about 11:30 or something like that. Hampton has a bookstore that's off campus, but it's across the street. So it'll give us a chance to not go into one that's on campus because it's much more expensive. Go to that one, get stuff, and then get in the back on the bus so we can go over to Norfolk State. It says 2, but really it's 30 minutes apart. So, but I leave time just in case traffic or something like that. And it's always, again, be good to be there early. We have a tour at 2 o'clock in Norfolk State. We will leave at 4 o'clock. So if we get there early, we finish early there, then maybe we'll go straight to Norfolk State, get there a little bit earlier. They do have like a food court. They have Chick-fil-A and all of the other type of things. You'll spend that money on your own with regard to that, because we'll maybe do breakfast and dinner. So on the way home, we'll leave 4 or 3:30, depending on how quick the tour ends, and then we'll go to the mall. Once again, we'll go past Maryland Eastern Shore. We'll go to Salisbury, Maryland. They have a mall there on 13, if we go 13. If the bus company wants us to go 64 to 95, then we'll stop in Potomac Mills, and we'll eat there, and then come back. So they'll get a chance to stop and get something to eat, okay? So mall and dinner, and then we should be home by 10 p.m. on that Wednesday, okay? That's what it's gonna look like, All right, let me close it out. Questions and answers, forms to be completed. You all should have forms that are there. Just the first sheet, please fill that out. If you have potential roommates, if you know somebody, take care of that. Accommodations. The reason why I started this tour is because years ago, the Presbyterian Church used to do it. Mr. Terry of Terry Funeral Homes, when it was belonged to the brothers, Terry brothers, Paul Terry and them, they used to sponsor trips, but they asked us to go because I was a Baptist youth pastor. We had the kids, they just had the resources to go in there. But one of the things they would do is they would pack the kids in and have 2 people in a bed and each in 2 beds and stuff like that. I get 2 beds in each one of these rooms. I choose this hotel because of the fact that a lot of the times, most of the rooms have 2 beds and a couch bed that's there. So if it is 3, you still pay the double rate. I don't do the triple rate. But if you want to have a third person and y'all get along, come on somebody, don't get along up until this trip and then all the drama start once you go on the trip, you know. And we do only 2 in a room. It's included in your trip. What do you students pack? Pay attention to the weather. My wife just reminded me it is March. You get nice weather, or you can be cold weather in March. So you have to pay attention to the weather and seeing what it is, and then we'll move forward. But don't come here with a suitcase big as this cart right here. You're only gonna be going really technically 3 days, 2 nights. And so you're already gonna be wearing the first set of clothes when you go. So of course, have an extra pair change just in case you spill something on there, all right? Then I had 3 daughters, grown daughters now, but some of y'all got ladies, young ladies. As a father, I'll say it is, I'll cloak it as much as I could. Y'all gotta act for that. Oh, come on, somebody. So if you know it's time for your friend to come on, somebody. Make sure that you don't put all your stuff underneath the bus, and then we have to pull over because something happens. Come on. All right? Well, my wife looking at me like, why are you doing that? I just gotta tell you, because we've experienced this in 26 years. Could you please pull over the bus? You know. All right? So even if you think about your friend coming early, make sure you square it away, okay? So make sure that you pack accordingly. See if it's gonna rain, make sure. $50 non-refundable or transferable deposit. Non-refundable means that the only reason we know that you're going on a trip is if you give the $50. You can say, I'm going, you can win a free trip and everything else, but if you don't give the $50, then you're not officially on the trip until you give that money, okay? Transferable. That means that, okay, I gave my $50, I'm not going, but I want you to go, so I know you're going, use my $50. No, you can't do that. It's not transferable to somebody else. Because once you give your $50, that's when I determine the hotels, the bus, and everything else so that we can move forward, okay? We had to cancel in October of last year for the November trip, because when it got time for the bus, they asked for $6,600, and I had $800 in the bank. Then out of nowhere, when it got closer to the date, Lottie Dottie and everybody come out the woodwork with their, I got my money, I'm gonna cash app you past the knock and all this stuff. It's too late, because I'm not gonna get stuck with no $6,600 bus, and that didn't even include the hotel rooms. That doesn't even include the meals, where I give your students $15 each per meal. And how am I gonna do that? My wife will kill me. There have been some trips, literally, but it took me a year to pay off some of these hotel rooms because of people being last minute, and then I didn't know I had a track meet that day. Oh, I had to take my SATs. You ain't know that ahead of time, okay? And so we got grandchildren now. We ain't got time for all of that. All right, we working our way to retirement, where we can be debt free. So no more, none of that. So no non-refundable or transferable. Delaware Express is one of the companies that I'll try to look up to see if they're available. They're impossible in the fall because they do all of the sports teams. So in the springtime, we use them. This actually is Delaware Express and actually on Virginia State's campus. And so I just took a picture while they were showing the young people the campus. And so we use Delaware Express, we use David Thomas Tours, we do Academy Bus, and Elite Coach, okay? So all of them have Wi-Fi and power on there. This is what I was talking about by the 2. This is actually that hotel that we're going to, okay? So they have 2 beds in each one, and then to the left, they actually have a couch bed, and in there, it has a microwave and a refrigerator in the room. Okay? So if you go to the mall, you can't eat all your food and everything else like that. You go to, what is that, Panda Express, and you can't eat it all. You go to Cinnabon, you can heat it up in your room, okay? So it's all of that's included in there, okay? I think that's it. Wait a minute. Deadline for payments, it's March the 14th, okay? So you're not on the trip until you get a $50 deposit, okay? And we'll give you a receipt doing that. There's a couple of ways that you can pay for it. But the deadline for all payments is March the 14th. It's a Saturday, okay? Now, on that same date, that's our pizza fellowship. So what we do is, you'll get free pizza. You come for all of those that are paid and are going on a trip. Then when we do our last orientation, everything will be concrete. That's when we give out, 2 weeks before we go on the trip, the official itinerary with all the information. I'll even give a hotel name. Even my cell phone will be on the itinerary for the parents, so that we know where we're at all times. And then from there, what that does is, for some people may not know people on a trip, give them a chance to pick a roommate. Because that Monday after the 14th, or the 17th, whatever, then I have to turn in a rooming list to the hotel, okay? And so sometimes I assume just because you went to the same high school, you want to room with somebody from, sometimes that may not be true. So we're able to, Pastor Knock, can I switch it around? Can I be with this person? Can I be with that person? That's the time that we can do that. And then once I find that when I used to do youth retreats, when the young people get to know each other before they go on a trip, it cuts down on that first day or so. Usually by day 3, they all got each other, they all get a group chat, Mr. Mayor's, and talk about Pastor Knock, and all the adults is downstairs, so come on up to the room before the curfew and stuff. So I pay people to get on the group chat. I'm dirty like that, Tara. Hey, here's $20. Could you just tell me what they talk about on the group chat? I get my little spies. Y'all gonna have y'all, now y'all getting nervous, right? So we do the fellowship, so let me know when we get closer. So then we do cheese, we do sausage, we get pepperoni, and the company we use is Chris Pizza, so they don't do pork products over there on Conshohocken for some of their things. So we do the fellowship on that day, on the 14th, and then we take care of all the final things. Trip scholarships. If you want to get a trip scholarship, you fill out the bottom part of your form. That's right there. You see where the line is? Where you put your name on there. If you know of any roommates, if you don't have any roommates, just put on there. If you fill out the form to put in if you need a scholarship. Some of you may already have if you already have your trip paid for by somebody else, then you don't need to do that. But if you need a trip scholarship, or you want to see if you don't get picked, then you need help, then put on there need help before you put it in there. Because we can only give out one free trip to one male and one free today. But if we find somebody that may need some help, then what I do is I go to funeral homes, I go to all the different businesses, insurance companies, and all of that stuff, and even previous graduates of our tour. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have accountants, we have all kind of professionals. We even have a young lady, as I always brag about, that she dances with Beyonce, but she ain't giving me one ticket to no concert. No Cowboy Carter, no nothing, But when they get a chance, once they, establish themselves, then they get back. I put it up on Facebook, I need help, and and even my kids, they provide scholarship when they have money. And so we use that if we have need to try to make sure that we help you out. We can't always guarantee that we can give you 100%, but sometimes you gotta meet us halfway. And here's the whole thing. There's another tour that's gonna be going this spring. They're charging $800. $800.
That's my church.
I ain't wanna put nobody on blast. But so we are not trying, we're trying to do it right at cost. Right at cost. And so and also a lot of times it's not even at cost, because what we do is people give us money, then we offset the difference that we have, okay? All right, so that's the trip scholarship. Gifts and prizes during the tour. Some people may not be able to give us money to be able to help do a scholarship, but they'll go out and get movie tickets to, Regal or AMC or something like that. When we go on the tours, What I do is, every school we go to, I'm sitting there like you sitting there at orientation, and I'm writing down all the information that the admission department is giving, and I write it down. So then when we get back on the bus and we have Virginia Union, you know, we ask, who's the name that's on the library? Come on, Governor Wilder, right? If you know that, now I may go to the bookstore at Union and I give you a sweatshirt or a hoodie or a backpack
That
or
looks like
something
this.
that. Nah, we ain't got money like that, you know what I'm saying? So we reward you, reward you for when paying attention and getting this. Why? Because your career depends on this. Your life depends on this, okay? I grew up down the bottom, okay? My mom had 3 kids before she was 21, okay? She graduated though. She was smart. She graduated from Overbrook at 17, but she fell in love with this pretty boy, had curly hair, hazel eyes, and come on somebody. And he was a little bit older, a couple of grades ahead, you know, and they got married, and I had my older sister, and I'm a twin. So she had 3 kids before she was 21, okay? And so we had to work. When we got to college, come on, my mom used to tell me lies, Brother Mac. The money's on the way. Look in your mailbox. I'm sending you some money down there. Come on. Come on, and 3 times a day for a whole week, you put your key in there so you learn to work. I worked at McDonald's, I worked at Walmart, Kmart. You gotta do what you gotta do to graduate, okay? So, and it pays off when you get older, it does. So gifts, prizes, they will give them during the tour. And then, like I said, if you need help to pay. All right, if anybody, I'm getting ready to do the free trip. So if you want to participate in the free trip, you have to cut off the bottom of that portion. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? Put your name on there. All you gotta do is put your name. Yeah, name and school. No. You're gonna give me this copy. But this is what's gonna go in the back. So I can pick the person.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
What's the total cost?
325. How you doing, man?
Where it says roommate information, you wanna tear that off.
Yes. Okay, all right. But make sure that the deposit gets on for him.
Yeah, so,
No. Yeah. Okay. So you give it back. Listen, if you win the scholarship, you still, listen up. If you win the scholarship, or we give you a free trip, okay? When we talked about with Elizabeth City, if they provide a scholarship for somebody, you still have to pay the $50, okay? Because we've had some schools like Mastery or whatever, we sent kids, they paid for a couple of kids to go on the trip. Then guess what? Somebody was so trifling that the day of trip, they didn't even show up. After that person had already paid for that. So what we do is, for those young people, sometimes we may have people from the zoo and everything else that are going. They have a program over there. But they pay a $50 deposit, so then what happens is, the day they show up that morning, we give the money back to them. But then that way, they can use it for spending money on the trip or the like. But what they're not gonna do is disrespect somebody that came through their funds and paid somebody way, and then they just said, well, I ain't paying for it. I don't have an Uber this morning to get to the church, so I'm not coming.
That's crazy.
No, that don't work that way. So anybody, even if you get a trip scholarship, you still have to pay the $50 deposit, which is given back to you if you were one of the scholarship recipients. We'll give it back to you the day of the trip. Okay? Does that make sense?
yes,
And then you only want the bottom piece tore off.
Bottom part. Wait a minute. I'm gonna
Yes. So you wanna fold it,
fold it.
fold it
Keep
again,
fold it.
and then
Fold it
in
one more
half.
time. Yeah. Yep. One more time. There you go. Just like that.
And what
Okay.
I'm gonna
We're gonna
do
come
is-
and get it. We're gonna come get it.
I'm gonna come and get the females first,
Right. And
because they separate them as one male and one
Right.
female.
so only if it's a female that wants to go on a trip. All the female, put yours in there.
What does it have to get?
For the males, you'll go next after that. Yes,
When is the $50 down payment due?
immediately.
Okay,
As soon as, today, or whenever you're ready. Now, I will say this, there'll be 3 options and 3 ways that you can pay, okay? You can pay to the church directly, all right, and with a check or the things that you're trying to do that way. And then make sure you put, when you do that, make sure you put, the name of the student and deposit or whatever you're doing that way. The other one is, I can give you my Cash App, but when you do it on Cash App, I have to say this because things have changed with taxes, okay? You have to put college tour, okay? Because when they see me getting money, they may think it's, I did something for you, I did a work, and then they tax me, okay? You have to put college tour final payment, college tour depart thing, and even maybe the student's name, so that it doesn't, when they look at it, they don't think that all of a sudden I'm getting this windfall of money for some services that I rendered, okay? Now, the last one, and I have to talk to my treasurer, but that's gonna be more expensive for you, is we do have a Givelify app that we use for our tithes and offering at the church, but the only problem is there's a fee that's attached to that. And I don't know what that fee is. So as soon as I find out what that fee is, if you want to give Givelify, because that gives you opportunity to use like your debit card and some other type of thing. It's 3.5%. So whatever that 3.5% is, you have to pay that too, in addition to the 325, okay?
I did not pick it. I had a young man back here pick it.
Okay, for the ladies,
Yep, that's for the ladies.
okay. Okay, Jordan Dumas.
I'll take all the guys.
That's my friend.
That's
Wait,
your
do they have to
friend?
be here?
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Did
Are they here? Are they here? Is Jordan here?
No.
Oh, yeah, they have to.
No, they have to be here.
Yeah.
They have to be here.
What happened?
And that's what I'm gonna say, Jordan's
She
not here.
couldn't.
Well, who put their names in?
Who put it?
I did.
Oh, no.
Right.
That's a good one. That's a good friend.
I know. Jesse, you are so loving and faithful that you take care of your friend.
Did anybody else put anybody's name in?
Make sure you tell Jordan that she would have been here.
She was so excited for her.
I
know.
That's a good friend.
That's what she looking out.
You tried.
Almost. I let her know she almost won. Jordan, you
Michelle.
almost won.
Almost
Could you
was.
stop that recording for me?
Oh my God.
Ashaya Gendra, motivation.
Motivation,
Where's she at?
right there.
Hey, congratulations. Okay. All right. All right. Motivation.